Okay, so before we continue the lesson, I just want you to know that I will going to cut the video lectures. So hindi ko siya ituloy-tuloy para maiwasan natin na ma-stress at ma-pressure kayo sa mga video lectures na isa-send ko. Okay, so let's continue. Next term is the ecology. Okay, so ecology, it is a branch of science that studies the relationship of living organisms to one another and to their environment. Okay, so the primary goal of the subject of this study is to improve the understanding of life processes, their adaptations and habitats, the interactions of different living organisms, and its biodiversity of organisms. Okay. So, again, ecology, pinag-aaralan natin dito yung relationship ng different living organisms and the environment. Okay, next is plant geography. So, geography, we are talking about how plants distribute. Okay, so, paano nga ba, like, how come na may mga plants sa desert? How come na may mga plants sa bodies of water? Okay, so next, genetics. So we are talking about genes here. Okay, so genetics or plant genetics is we study the hereditary and the variations of plants. Next, plant breeding. Plant breeding is the science of changing the traits of plants to produce desired characteristics. Next, embryology. So, embryo. So, we are talking about the study of the development of an organisms. Next, economic botany. So, economic botany, this is the study of the relationship between people and plants. So, diba, ekonomiya. So, paano natin gagamitin ang plants pagdating sa ekonomiya, diba? Si plants ang daming uses ng plants. Ginagamit siya in production of food, in a medicine, ano pa ba? Wait lang. Okay. So, yun, paano natin ginagamit si plants pagdating sa economic or ekonomiya. Next, plant pathology. So, pathology, we are talking about diseases. So, dito, pinag-aaralan natin yung iba't ibang sakit ng mga plants. Okay, paano yung mechanism of action or yung mechanism ng disease occurrence nila. Okay, so what are the symptoms and what are the different reasons, different cause kung bakit sila nagkakasakit. And of course, pinag-uusapan rin natin dito yung mga ways on how to control or to heal those plants na mayroong mga sakit. Okay, next, agronomy. We are talking about crop, so agriculture. So agronomy is the study of the crop plants. Next, we have the palynology. So palynology, we are talking about pollen grain. Okay, next, horticulture. If you are familiar with ornamental plants, yung mga plants na ginagamit for beautification sa landscaping. So, horticulture is the study of flowering and fruiting plants. Next, pharmacognosy. So, this is the study of the medicinal plants. Okay, so our plants, meron silang mga different constituents. These are the primary constituents and the secondary constituents. So, na-discuss ko to during the cell. The primary constituents, these are the carbohydrates, the proteins, the lipids. These primary constituents are needed for the growth of the plants, while the secondary constituents or the secondary metabolite, these are examples are your alkaloids, resins, glycosides. Okay, itong mga constituents na to, they are capable of, or they have this potential to treat or to manage a certain disease. If you are familiar with digoxin is a glycoside. So digoxin is a drug for congestive heart failure. So this is a plant source, specifically the Digitalis lanata. Okay, another example, ano pa yun? With the aloe vera. Si aloe vera, meron siyang constituent na ang tawag ay aloe. Yan, so ginagamit sa aloe vera for the management or treatment of burns sa skin. Okay, so these are some examples of plant constituents na ginagamit or meron siyang benefit in the treatment and the management of a certain disease. Okay, next, paleontology. We are talking about plant fossils. So, yung mga plant na nag-exist na noong unang panahon pa. Okay, so we are done with the different terminologies that you needed to know under this subject. So, next we have the overview of the scientific methods. So, scientific method is a process of research with defined steps that include data collection and careful observation. So, ito yung process na hindi basta-basta. It has a step-by-step procedure or step-by-step process para mag-conduct ng isang scientific method. Okay, so bakit tayo nagka-conduct ng scientific method? Okay. First and foremost, this is very essential sa science. Sa mundo ng siyensya. Diba? Siyempre, without a proper method, without a proper process. So, how are we going to come up with a study na magagamit natin in the future o magagamit ng mga researches pa in the future? So, hindi ito yung haka-haka. So, this is proven. Dapat, we need to prove it that a certain situations really exist or we are looking for answers sa ating mga tanong. And, yan. So, yan. Okay, so these are the steps of scientific methods. So, first, observation. Pero, di ba, pagdating sa research natin, so, I believe na-experience nyo na rin yan, na hindi tayo nagsisimula sa observations. Nag-start tayo sa title. How are we going to come up with the title? So, syempre, if you want to know something, diba, nag-curious kayo, sa research na lang natin. Diba, hindi naman, kung sa experimental, diba, hindi naman ma-observe yung mga plants na meron silang mga potential to treat or to manage a certain disease. So, anong ginagawa natin doon? So, we study them. So, kung nagka-create tayo ng title. Okay, so, itong mga titles na to, they are already existing. Some are already existing. But some titles also are wala pa. Pero, yun yung mahirap gawan. Kasi, syempre, wala kang data eh. At least, itong mga ibang experimental studies na to, may mga review-related literature. Okay, so, but these are the steps in conducting a scientific research or a scientific study. So, first is the observations, and then you are going to plot questions. So, itong mga questions na to, kailangan mong sagutin by how? Experimentation. Okay, next, hypothesis. So, this is the educated guess. So, itong educated guess na to, itong hypothesis na to, kailangan na ma-prove natin na mali or tama tayo. Okay, next is this an experiment. So, how are we going to answer this one? Questions. Paano natin papatunayan yung ating hypothesis? And in designing an experiment, of course, gagawin mo siya, and then may results ka at the conclusion. Okay? So, yan po yung different steps ng scientific research or scientific method natin. So, we have two types of research. The experimental. So, dito gumagamit tayo ng mga depende sa study mo. Kung pwede kang gumamit ng animals, bacteria. Okay, sa drug discovery, of course, humans. Gumagamit ng animals also and humans. Pagdating sa drug discovery and development. And we have the descriptive. Okay, so descriptive dito naman, we create questions. Depende yung structured question, interview, tapos may mga target population. So, sila ang magsasagot sa mga questions, sa mga interviews na ginawa ninyo. Okay, next. Okay, so ito. Same lang din naman siya. Okay, so next we have the origin and the evolution of the botany. So, during the pre-17th century, si Aristotle and si Theophrastus, so they are involved in identifying plants and describing them. Okay, so both of them ay merong contribution about plants. Pero si Theophrastus lang yung mas madaming contributions sa plants, while si Aristotle mas madami siyang contributions sa animals. That's why si Theophrastus, siya ang kinagurian o he was hailed as the father of botany. Okay, so baka ma-mix nyo Aristotle and Theophrastus, they both contribute a lot sa botany. But si Theophrastus mas madaming contribution regarding plants, while si Aristotle mas madami siyang contributions sa studies sa animal study. So mas nare-recognize sa Aristotle o mas kilala si Aristotle pagdating sa pagdating sa mga hayop, while si Theophrastus naman ay sa plants. Okay, so therefore, Theophrastus was hailed as the father of botany. Okay, next, si Dioscorides o si Pedanius Dioscorides. Pedanius Dioscorides wrote the book De Materia Medica. So this work described 1,000 medicines, most of which came from plants. Okay, so ano ba yung mga plants na na nalalaman na andito, na mga opium, mga ergot, yan, mga hyoscine. Yan, si opium, ginagamit siya for pain, si ergot, meron siyang tinatawag na ergotamine na ginagamit for the treatment of migraine. Okay, so maliban po sa mga books, sa mga plants na yon, even illustrations, methods kung paano gagawin, paano gumawa ng isang herbal medicine. Okay, so yun yung mga laman ng De Materia Medica by Pedanius Dioscorides. Sabi pa niya, medicine sometimes grants health, sometimes destroys it, showing which plants are helpful, which harm. Okay, so hindi po kasi lahat ng plants natin ay helpful. Okay, so kaya nga kung napapansin ninyo, yung mga herbal plants natin na available in the market, meron nakalagay na no approved therapeutic claims. Anong big sabihin yan? May studies naman dun sa certain plants, pero walang na-prove na specific disease na natitreat niya. Okay, so again, some plants gives a positive health benefits, or it is helpful, while some plants causes harm. So alam mo yung sinasabi na masama ang sobra. Okay lang naman uminom, mag-take ng herbal plants, pero you need to consider some factors. For example, age. Yung mga bata, pedia, mga geriatrics, itong mga to, prone sila sa harm. Kasi diba pedia, hindi pa kompleto or hindi pa matured yung mga organs nila. Sino ba ang nag-filter out ng mga substances inside the body? It's the kidney. So, hindi pa matured. Paano pa pagka premature to? O di mas lalo na. So, pwedeng matoxic yung bata. O geriatrics. Old na sila. So, di ba kapag old na, pati yung mga organs, so mahihirapan din na mag-filter out o maapektuhan yung mga kidneys ng mga matatanda. Okay? So, yan po yung factor na kung bakit minimal lang ang pag-take dapat ng mga herbal medicines. And of course, pag mag-take ng herbal medicines, we must make sure that it is prescribed by the doctors. Diba? Remember, do not self-medicate. Always ask an expert. Okay, next. During the 17th century, so again, ito na naman si Robert Hooke. So, nag-invent siya ng microscope. And then, meron siyang sinulat na book called Micrographia. Okay, so, Micrographia, illustrations ng mga micro meaning small things, mga fungus, yan, mga maliliit na mga living organisms, yung laman yan. Okay, wag ko na itong i-lecture kasi na-lecture naman na natin sa cell. Okay, i-lecture ko na lang din. So, he coined the term cell since may mga classmates kayo na hindi pa kakapasok pa lang. So, however, the cells seen by Hooke showed no signs of the nucleus and other organelles found in most living cells, according kay Rhodes. Okay, next, Anton van Leeuwenhoek saw a live cell under a microscope. Dito siya, ito yung lens niya. So, he laid the foundations of plant anatomy and he also studies the structure of wood and crystals. So, katulad din ni Robert Hooke, si Anton van Leeuwenhoek ay naka-invent din ng sarili niyang microscope at nakita niya na may buhay na cell or buhay yung cell. Next, John Ray published the Historia Plantarum. Okay, so of course, plants ang laman na to. Okay, so because of this book, this book became an important step toward modern taxonomy. Okay, so and inside the Historia Plantarum, syempre merong mga documents na about the plants. Okay, next, Babylonians. The ancient documents have contents about advice and instructions on how to improve seeds, trees, and fruits and how to protect them. These documents were references for the cultivation of crops. Okay, so noon pa lang, yan yung mga cultivation ng crops natin already exist. At itong mga itong mga documents na to by the sinaunang tao ay naging importante, naging reference nila ngayong modern days. Okay, next, Egyptians. Okay, so I believe na discuss to sa inyo sa perspective. Si papyrus, this was found in the tomb of a mummy. Okay, all these, they already practiced or they already used plants in health. Diba, mummy sa Egypt, they practice mummification. Mummification is the preservation of a dead body. Okay, gumagamit sila dito ng myrrh, and myrrh is a plant. This is a plant. So, ito yung ginagamit nila in preserving a dead body. Okay, so si papyrus, it is a scroll, mahabang scroll. Okay, na syempre, ano ang laman? Mga plants, different procedures. 60 feet, sumaba siya. Different methods pa kung paano gawin yung mga herbal medicines. Okay, so again, si papyrus was discovered by George Ebers. Kaya ang tawag dito kay papyrus ay Papyrus Ebers or Ebers Papyrus. Pinangalan sa kanya. Okay. So, maliban dyan, itong mga to, mga Egyptians papyrus or Cyprus papyrus, ginagamit sila for the production of paper. And if you are familiar with this one, ito, yung sino sa inyo nanonood ng mga mythology, myths, gods and goddesses, diba nakikita natin sa mga ulo nila yan, pinapatong nila sa ulo. And they attributed special powers. And si lotus sa Thailand, I think it's Thailand, that the lotus for them, specifically the roots, it is sacred for them. Okay, next. Greeks and Romans. So this linked the creation of plants to their myths of gods such as Hyacinthus. So Homer, this is a person, classified Asia Minor plants into wild and cultivated species clearly. So Homer classified wild and cultivated species. So yung mga uh, tumubo like it wild is yung originated na nagtumubo sa isang certain place, and yung cultivated yun na yung dinala na siya sa like nagkaroon ng growth ng plant sa ibang lugar. Next, Tyracius of Mantinea. So siya isang herbalist or skillful rhizotomy. So she discovered that plants can be poisonous or medicinal. So yun, parang nasabi na rin naman to ni Dioscorides that plants cause benefit or is helpful and some causes harm. Okay, next, Empedocles. So Empedocles is a well-known representative of the Pythagorean school. So Empedocles views the world composing of 4 elements, namely the water, air, earth, and fire. And sabi din niya that plants also have souls. They have these feelings, nakakaramdam din sila. Meron silang mga senses. Next is si Plinus Secundus or Pliny the Elder. Meron na rin siyang pinublish na book that is The Natural History of Plants. Okay, next, Dark Ages. So, during the Dark Ages, the botany declined. So, bakit? Dito po, nagkaroon na ng confiscation ng mga documents at sinira. Okay, kasi, the reason why is they believe that the cause of diseases is mga mangkukula, mga engkanto, 'di ba? Yun yung kanilang belief. So, I don't know why there is a need for them to confiscate, destroy, and burn those literature. Yan, siguro, syempre church, ba yun nga, they believe that mga sanib, mga ganyan, mga engkanto, mga hindi mo nakikitang creature ang nagkukos. So, siguro, dasal-dasal lang yan, madadaan sa mga dasal, ganun. But, dahil sa ginawa nilang ganito, imbes sana na useful siya to eradicate a certain disease, yan, nung ginawa nila yan, actually, nagkaroon pa ng mga different plague. For example, si bubonic plague. Mga sakit tong mga to. Nagkaroon ng mga scabicides, scabies, yan, mga measles, yan. Dahil dyan, yan, dahil dito sa ginawa nila na confiscation at sinira nila yung mga documents noon, yan, nagkaroon ng mga diseases, na mga mas malalalang diseases. Yan. But, yan, nagkaroon naman ng preservation. So, ni-revive ng Islam ang botany. Yan. So, circa 1193-1280, si Albert Magnus, sinulat niya ang libro na De Vegetabilis. Okay, next, Renaissance. So, dito is nagkaroon na ng mga universities, specifically sa Europe, and na itong mga to ay they do researches. They do studies, scientific studies. So, ini-study nila if a certain plant is useful or has a potential to treat or manage a certain disease. Okay, so dito din, nagkaroon ng na-publish yung book na ang title ay Herbals. Okay, next, Aztecs of Mexico. So, Aztecs of of Mexico naman, they developed the botanical gardens. And also, they contributed ornamental plants. Okay, so, sila ang nag-imbento, sila ang gumawa ng first botanical garden. Okay, next, Chinese. So, Chinese invented the first printing machine, made copies of literature, documentation started. Okay, so, since Chinese, may maraming inventions, specifically printing machine. So, syempre, kapag may printing machine, makakakopy tayo, makakapag-reproduce tayo ng mga copies ng mga literature. Diba parang yung newspaper. Parang mga newspaper, diba? Nagkakaroon ng printing, tapos naipapadala siya sa iba't ibang lugar. So, bakit kailangan natin yon? So, syempre, para ma-inform yung mga tao na may mga ganito palang nangyayari sa mundo. And of course, importante yun as a documentation. Indians knows agriculture, so they first developed the methods of cultivating crops. And naging inspiration din itong ginawa ng mga Indians, itong contribution ng Indians sa modern day natin. Okay, next, Italy, si Luca Ghini. Okay, so, siya naman ang nag-introduce ng pressing plants. Okay, so, if you are familiar with press plants, yan, yung mga totoong halaman na, yun, na ginawang ornamental, ginawang mga pang-design, mga ganun. Okay, next, transition period. So, dito nagkaroon na ng madaming exploration at discoveries. And, I think that is, before, diba 1500s, like 1513, mga ganyan, na-discover ni Magellan ng Philippines. Just because of, Philippines is rich of spices kasi, and spices is very, noon. Actually, until today, diba, spices is very important in cuisine, diba? So, si spices yung ginawang trade, nagkakaroon ng palitan sa bawat country noon. Yun yung pangunahing business nila. Okay, so next, the Linnean period. So, si Carolus Linnaeus o si Carl von Linné, siya ang nag-introduce ng binomial system nomenclature. So, nomenclature, we are talking about naming. Okay, so yun yung tinanong ko kanina na on how to name a plants, how to write the scientific name. So, yun po yung binomial system nomenclature. Okay, and on the 19th century, it gives birth to discoveries and knowledge with the invention of several instruments such as the microscope. So, dito, nagkaroon na ng andaming discoveries because of the high technology.